When no one wants to hear you, the collapse that happens in public. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's start with reality, not theory. Let's start with what actually happened. Over 6 years, 4 nights out, 4 occasions where I attempted, in good faith, to return to life, to reconnect, to rejoin society, or at least the version of it I once called mine. I thought I was ready. I thought, I'll go out, I'll be myself again. I'll speak plainly, and maybe, just maybe, someone will meet me there. Not as I was, not even as I am, but as someone who went through something and is trying to find coherence again. But it didn't go that way. The collapse that no one sees. Each time, I was met with something even more destabilizing than direct cruelty. Denial. Not always a cruel one. Sometimes it was blank stares, sometimes it was deflections, sometimes it was a joke, and sometimes it was silence. But underneath it all, it was this message: we don't understand, we don't want to, and we're not going to try. Now, some of that was just trauma blindness. Some people can't see what they haven't lived, others won't, and some were complicit, quietly terrified that I might describe something too close to home. And if I did, that would mean I saw them. So they preempted that fear with a smear, branded me attention seeking, emotionally erratic, too intense, not the same anymore. And that language trickled, it spread, through friends who didn't know what to think, through men who had no internal language for collapse, through people who couldn't hear me because they'd never even tried to hear themselves. And I was just standing there, mid conversation, trying to explain, not even about the abuse, just talking and leaking. My psyche was bleeding through everything: my hurriedness, my drive to be heard, my eyes, my tone, the pacing, the intensity. One of them even said it out loud: God, you're very aggressive about all this. I wasn't being aggressive. I was being real. I was being raw. I was trying to regulate in real time in public with nothing but my own scattered centre to hold me. When your words aren't heard, only felt. You see, after collapse, your words don't always translate. They don't land, they pulse, they carry weight, but no tether. People feel your affect, but they don't understand it. And if they haven't done their own inner work, they'll project it all back onto you. You're intense, you're too much, you're making it all about you, you're angry, you need help. I was seeking coherence, not sympathy, not performance, just coherence. A basic human moment where someone goes, I hear you, I see what's underneath. But they didn't, because they couldn't. And when coherence doesn't come, your body tries to force it. It accelerates, the voice gets louder, urgency leaks out. You start pleading without even realizing it. You're not even talking to them anymore. You're trying to regulate the storm inside your own nervous system by externalizing it into their face. And when that doesn't work, you collapse. This collapse is in plain sight. What happens next is invisible to others, but total to you. You shut down emotionally, socially, psychologically. You go home, you isolate, you ruminate, and you think, they don't care. I'm broken. I shouldn't have said anything. I ruin everything. I need to disappear. And for the next 24 to 48 hours, your entire system is offline. You are flooded with shame, dysregulation, and the terrifying sense that you are utterly alone in the world with a truth nobody wants to hear. But let's be precise. This isn't just sadness. It's not just disappointment. It's trauma reactivation. It's the anticipatory shadow reflex, ASR3, trying to protect you from rejection, while the annihilatory stress response, ASR1, pulls the plug on your internal regulation system. You are now running on fumes, and those fumes burn. This isn't because your friends were monsters. Some were misinformed, some were scared, and some were simply unequipped. But what happened and what needs to be seen is that the environment failed you in the precise moment you needed it to mirror back your reality. Instead, it denied it, and your reality folded inwards like a dying star, leaving only the implosion behind. This is why survivors stop socializing. It's not because we hate people, it's not because we're antisocial, it's not because we're weak. It's because the cost of trying to be seen and not being is too high. It's safer not to go out. It's safer not to speak. It's safer to stay inside where your own coherence can't be rejected. And that is the true story. Not the abuse itself, but the world's inability to hold what the abuse created. The real conversation starts here. If you're hearing and reading this and you felt what I've just described, you're not alone. You're not mad. You're not overreacting. You are living in the aftermath of a relational collapse, trying to rejoin a world that hasn't updated its language to match your inner reality. That's not your fault, but it is your burden until it isn't, until the moment you name it, the exact moment you say to yourself, this wasn't me being intense, that was me trying to find myself again. And you begin to realize it. You don't need to be silent, but you do need to build a new scaffolding, not based on who will listen, but based on your right to speak, even if the room stays quiet. This moment, this memory, these 4 nights, they don't define my voice, they do shape my truth. The most radical thing you can do after narcissistic abuse is stand in your story without begging others to make it real. You are real, your collapse was real, and in your recovery, even if done in isolation, will be the most honest thing you've ever lived. Peace out. Loads of love.